Hello and welcome. This is rooflemonger, my friends. You ever feel the fact that despite you've been vindicated, you're still sort of lost in the end? That's how I feel with some of the recent Fatal Fury City of the Wolves trailers. So in our last video talking about Fatal Fury City of the Wolves, we talked about the theory of stages, on how it appears that every character might have their own unique stage, and certain existing stages might point towards certain characters. And with some of these recent trailers for both Hotaru and Tizoc, it looks like, at least partially, that's true. As with these characters, which are already existing, we've already seen them in gameplay. They just never had their own specific trailers, right? We are getting all new stages and stages dedicated to these characters. So yes, it looks like every character is getting their own unique dedicated stage at this point, and that's kind of cool. That's not really something that really happens anymore. It's something that adds flavor to a character and adds flavor to the game as a whole, at least in my opinion. The one thing, as you're seeing here in the Tizoc trailer, which shows a character in the background of the stage, which I sort of placed a lot of my hopes and dreams on, and if they're a background character, maybe they're not going to be playable, but we're going to go into it some more depth here. So let's talk about the stages that we're seeing in these trailers. So Hotaru is in the upscale part of Southtown, not so much the industrial crime-ridden bits, right? And the thing about this is, in Garou, Mark of the Wolves, she classically had, the church stage and church bell and all that. And this obviously doesn't look like it, but it's actually a lot closer linked than you would think. So here we are in Mark of the Wolves, and this is Hotaru's stage. And you can see here big old church bells inside the tower, lots of pigeons, all that. And it's kind of looking out onto the town. And, wait a second. The bit of town we're looking out on is actually what the stage is in City of the Wolves. Basically, the church from which she fights from is actually what we're seeing in the background. Like specifically right here, you can even barely see the bells in the background there. Stuff like the flags we can see from inside the church there, kind of orangey, white, and blue. Well, hey, all those flags, there it is, clear as day. So it's definitely the exact same part of town. In both stages, you can see some of the architecture. You can see there's a bunch of water in the background, somewhere near the bay, I'm assuming. And I think that's a really cool concept. It's not exactly the same stage. It's not a remix of the old stage, but it is the same area. It's the stage you can see from the original stage. Just here you are on the ground level, like a block away from the actual church. In a weird way, it sort of reminds me of like the pit from Mortal Kombat. Like you can always see Blaze and Hornbuckle in the background. So now you're actually fighting from just over there on the other side of things. I just think it's an interesting way to go about it, honestly. And it also keeps the tradition of all these stages here, all these City of the Wolf stages, despite the actual time of day, right? They're always well lit, they're always bright, they always have a strong sense of color. And I think that's very important in a fighting game stage for everything to be kind of vibrant. Like it's part of the experience, right? Not personally a fan of dull, dark, and dreary, just environs. And we do get to see her hidden gear too as well, in nice clear fashion, not just handycam from the one place she was playable. And yes, it's basically the classic super, just changed up a little bit. Now, the one thing I see some people, they're complaining, oh, SNK gone woke. Because in the hidden gear, she straddles on your back instead of like on top of your crotch. One, the company that's putting out B-Jenny that looks like this in the game, I don't think is gone woke, as the kids would say. Such a silly term. Two, we probably shouldn't have the 16-year-old character doing stuff like this in the modern day. And three, well, she already has the move. It's just her regular super. The hidden gear is just a more fancy version. She still does it normally as a regular super. She's just not feeling herself as much as the old version. Other than that, we've seen her gameplay, like she's been known about for months and months and months, so nothing really new under the sun. But cool stage, nice callback, I like it. Now for Tizoc. So Tizoc is a character that we have known about, but there's barely any footage of him out there at all. So there's some interesting things here, and obviously the stage as well. So let's talk the stage first. So the wrestler has a wrestling ring stage, and the stage is very Tizoc themed. You can see the big Thunderbird in the background. Tizoc is Mexican, so you gotta have a couple of cactuses there to make sure people know, because, well, how else would you, right? And just everything looks nice and clean. It looks like a proper wrestling arena, nice and flashy, bright and colorful. Everything just looks really nice. Although if you don't know the lore so much, there is a part of it that might throw you for a loop. Yes, on the mat, it says KOF, aka King of Fighters. Much the same here on Tizoc's original stage, you can see King of Fighters clear as day on the mat. It is Maximum Mayhem King of Fighters, as Goro Mark of the Wolves was an official King of Fighters tournament. So is the majority of Fatal Fury games. King of Fighters exists just beyond the King of Fighters franchise. You'll find it in Fatal Fury, and you'll also find it in Art of Fighting. So you can also see here in the background some of the text here where it also says Maximum Mayhem. So this is the second Maximum Mayhem King of Fighters tournament. So what makes a King of Fighters tournament Maximum Mayhem versus just like a regular one? Who knows? The host decides the rules anyways, so Kine is the host this time around. I'm assuming, maybe, he was in Goro anyways. So we're bringing the name back, one-on-one format, let's go. That's how it is. Rock was the winner of Goro Mark of the Wolves King of Fighters tournament, and we have another one, so people are going to be fighting all across Southtown, see what's up. So now another big part of the stage is Raiden is very clearly part of the stage, sort of rocking an evolution of his look on Fatal Fury Wild Ambition. So the game already has tons and tons of cameos, right, in the background. That's fine, but as we talked about earlier, it sort of threw a loop into my theory. So I'm correct on it looks like everyone's getting their own stages, but for the pre-existing stages we already knew about that's not currently attached to a character, my idea was that the Dreamland Amusement Park would belong to Raiden, because in the original Fatal Fury, it's his stage. So, like, makes sense, right? It's his stage in the original game where the stage made its debut. So, therefore, you know, maybe he was an unannounced character. But if he's in the background, it seems more unlikely. Not saying it's impossible. There's been plenty of examples of fighting games over the years where a character could be in the background, but they're still a playable character. But given the game, given the nature of the many references in a lot of the stages, I don't know, it makes me doubt it, unfortunately. So if not Raiden, then who is the question? There's still a chance it could be him. There is one other character that has used the Dreamland Amusement Park before, though. And that is Sukaku in Fatal Fury 3. To be frank, there's not much to say about Sukaku. He's kind of like a generic monk dude. I'm sure he has his fans. More power to you. This version of Dreamland Amusement Park, though, is not the same as the one that is in City of the Wolves. City of the Wolves is explicitly marked off the classic version from Fatal Fury 1. This is more of a like rundown, going out of business version of the park. So it is technically the park. He is technically a character that has used the park, but to me, it's not exactly the same. So if not Raiden, if not Sukaku, and Preacha, it looks like we've already seen the hints of it from the other video. It looks like she's got her own stage. It's definitely not this. Then maybe an all-new character? Could be anything, I guess. Or it could be like, say, Preacha and Vox, two characters who are descendants or students of existing characters. Maybe young, peppy lady Raiden is a playable character. Who knows? I certainly don't. But it is a mystery, to be sure. If things are following the trends that I think they are, we'll get a Preacha trailer in a few days or very early next week, and we'll see whatever her stage is, and then I guess we'll wait till Gamescom to see what's up. Now, as for Tizoc, we've seen some gameplay before, but he's definitely the game's primary grappler. He maintains the leap grab. He gets King of Dinosaurs run grab. Who knows why? They're not related to each other in any way, shape, or form. He's got the grab where he quote-unquote throws you into the ropes for a wall bounce, and can kind of just juggle and recombo from there. He maintains his air grab as well, so we got air pile drivers. We got all sorts of grabs. And the game systems being what they are, you can rev cancel your grabs, right? So after run grab, you can EX cancel it into a flying elbow. That's kind of sick. Got lots of big old lariats as appropriate of a big boy grappler. And this juggle seems to work now where it didn't in older builds, so that's kind of cool. So yeah, like kind of the basics. Except for his hidden gear. If you haven't seen this, like, just really looking at it, it's quite a treat. So a big Hurricane Rana into a leap, and then he can, like, literally just fly. He can just fly. As is befitting of a wrestler, right? He can just fly, create a cyclone, and then choke you out midair. So now with these trailers, some mysteries have been answered, but now another mystery has been added with Raiden, right? Looked like he was a sure deal, and now as a background NPC, maybe not. Maybe something else is going on. As I mentioned, we're probably going to get Preacha stage soon. We'll see what her stage looks like. From the one little preview, it could be like a science-y style, like kind of stage. I don't know. She's a scientist, so it would make sense. And then likely we can expect a reveal at Gamescom as well. I guess we'll have to wait and see on that one. That's going to be only a few days away on the 20th. But for now, that's it, my friends. I kind of overhyped myself on Raiden. I never expected him to be in the game. So then when I had a chance of him being in the game, I got really excited. And now that chance might be gone. So coming crashing back down to reality. Here's hoping, I guess. But for now, that is the video. So thank you very much for watching. Hope this video has found you well. And go out and play some Fatal Fury.